I finally made it to Scotland after a long 2-day journey up from South Wales, and I've come to my first location, which is a moorland just near Golspie, and my hope is to find some red grouse to photograph. I know many years ago it was a good spot for black grouse, but I don't think they're in this area anymore. And then after that, when the tide comes in, I'm heading down to Loch Fleet, and hopefully I'll get some photographs of the winter ducks. It's been a very quiet morning up here around Golspie. The moorland was very quiet this morning, and all I really managed to photograph was a missel thrush. And I've come down to Little Ferry on the edge of Loch Fleet, and unfortunately there's not much moving here either. I photographed a few red-breasted mergansers and goldeneye, but they are a little distant, so I'm not hopeful I'm going to get much out of that. The rain has started coming in now, and it's getting heavier. So I'm just going to reevaluate what I do for the afternoon, and whether I head further south and perhaps go to somewhere like Findhorn Bay, or even up the Findhorn Valley, see if we can photograph a dipper or two. Well, it's still raining, but I'm on the edge of Loch Fleet, and I found an island which is slowly being inundated with water, but there are some seals on it, and if you look very carefully in the distance, you can see here I've got my 400mm videoing them, waiting for them to drop into the water. They do say shooting in the rain is atmospheric. I'm not sure I necessarily agree with that. It's quite miserable, and I've been stood here for about an hour, so I'm quite wet. But it is very picturesque here. Low clouds lining the tops of the mountains, and we've had some amazing views of the seals. There were a few more on there earlier, but they've already gone into the water, and these are the last remaining few. They can't be there for too long. The tide is now coming in quite quickly. Earlier on I did get some shots of a seal leaping out of the water, and hopefully that'll come out quite well. If it does, I'll put it into the video, and if you don't see it, it obviously didn't come out very well. It's been quite a slow day today. I've struggled to find many birds at all. The duck numbers are certainly down, possibly because it's warmed up. Right, I'm just going to move around this way, and there's my car in the background. Keep an eye on these seals. They really can't have long left on the island. They are really hanging on for as long as they can before they get into the water. I'm back at the hotel now after quite a disappointing day up at Lochfleet and the nearby moorland. There were very few ducks up there to photograph, and the few that were there were quite distant. In the end I gave up with those. I managed to find some seals on the nearby sandbank, and I spent quite a few hours with them, photographing them in the water and also photographing them while they're on the sandbank as the tide came in. It got a bit wet towards the end with the rain coming down quite heavily, but I got some quite good footage, and hopefully I'll have something to put together in a video for this first day in Scotland.